and have emotion about it. What was your example? Because we learn by example. And so for me, I was taught to be depressed. Not only by my mom, but by my grandfather as well, although he didn't show it as much and maybe I wasn't exposed to him as much, but they definitely responded to stresses with depression or emotional feelings instead of, figuring out how to be kind of optimistic about it. So what I learned was to kind of put myself into that emotional space where it's more of like a woe is me. And learning that from a young age actually made it so that every time I'd have a situation that feels uncomfortable where I wasn't getting what I needed, I would just get depressed. And instead of figuring out, I'm not getting what I need right now, and what is it that I need, I would just get depressed. And that was my kind of defense mechanism as a kid as well. And so as an adult, and not knowing that there was a different way, and not knowing, that there was a way to handle it or something else to look for, I would just get depressed, and really that would last for months. And I still deal with it. I still deal with those emotions. I mean, literally when I have a trigger happen in my system, I will wake up in the morning, and I usually have nightmares the night before or that morning, and my first thoughts are, I want to die. And it's programmed. It's in there. It can be the most mild thing that has happened, and because somehow my system is not getting its needs met, whether it be in love or financial or what department, and I didn't take the time to really pick it apart and take action on how to solve that. If I just let it sit in my system as it sits, it transfers to this like depressive reaction to that need not being met. And so what I've had to learn is, I'm going to have those feelings in the morning. It's just kind of the way that it is for me. I'm hoping that maybe when I'm in my 60s, I'll wake up and not feel that way. But as it stands, it's going to happen. And when it happens, what I need to do is take action then. Because otherwise I will end up sitting in it and feeling that way all day long. Like, oh man, like this really sucks. God, I feel this way, and that inner ticker, I call my repetitive mind, my ruminating mind that continues to repeat all of the negative things. I call it my ticker. It's like the ticker at the bottom of the CNN screen telling you all the bad news while you're watching the bad news. So I call that my ticker, and that ticker is usually running some stream that sounds like this. Oh my God, this sucks. What am I going to do? I feel so bad. I feel awful. Why does it feel this way? Is it going to be this way forever? And so on and so forth. And it just keeps going and going and going and going and going unless I stop it, unless I take action. And so what taking action looks like for me is, one, recognizing, I got a yellow jacket on my arm. Oh, that was fun. He's chilling, like he's over there. All right, I think maybe I need to walk a little because he's following me. Oh, he's totally after me. Maybe I'm near one of their nests. All right, let's see if this is better. Oh, I'm not a big fan of yellow jackets. We need them, I guess. They like to eat carnage, and they clean up, they pollinate, but they also bite, and it hurts. Okay, so now that I'm not being chased by a yellow jacket, my train of thought was, taking action for me. So one, you acknowledge that you're having that feeling. Like, okay, I woke up, I feel this way. And it could be, if it's not depression for me, it's like, oh my God, I woke up so tired this morning. How am I going to move? What am I going to do? Oh, why does this feel so bad? Why do I have to feel this way? Isn't there a cure? Isn't there something that I can do? Why me? Yeah, so I can run that all day long. I can totally run that program all day. But it's really better not to. I do a lot better when I don't run that program all day. And so acknowledging it first. Okay, this program is running. Oh yeah, that program. That's a fucking awful program. It's full of viruses. It's gonna fucking break the whole computer. Like, we gotta get that shit out of there. And even if we don't get it out of there, let's put it in its own little box over there so that it's not affecting the rest of the programs. That I personally have installed as an adult person who has chosen my programming, which you can do. And I'll probably put some videos up on that as well, because we can choose our programming. And we totally can, and our old programs are still going to run. We just have to be able to check that shit, right? You have to be able to know that that's what's happening. You have to be able to notice your thoughts. Like, oh, I'm thinking about this thing and it's not good. Okay, how do I shift that? So that's part of my morning routine when I wake up and it's not how I want it to be. So how do I do that? I basically think to myself, okay, my head is full of negative thoughts right now. And if it's the depressive feeling that I get, I'm like, okay, well, I'm experiencing this feeling. And I think I've mentioned on other videos, I make sure not to say my depression or I have depression. I usually would refer to it, or have learned to refer to it, as I am having these feelings, or I am experiencing depressive feelings, because it's really just an experience. And for me, experiences don't last, right? They happen and they're temporary. So first I will acknowledge, sorry, just making sure. Oop, there he is. He's back. Ah! Oh my God. Life on a ranch, or anywhere for that matter with those guys. So I say to myself, okay, well, I'm experiencing this. This is happening and it's fine. I acknowledge, oh my God, I'm so freaked out now. I acknowledge that this is happening. The first step, he wants me. Oh my God. I must smell good. Oh my God, he's really chasing me. That's crazy. I've never been chased by a yellow jacket before. Well, at least I'm getting some exercise. All right, maybe I'm far enough now. Now I have to pee from running. Awesome. Okay. So acknowledge your experience, right? Yes, okay, I'm experiencing this thing. No, it doesn't feel good. And yes, that's okay. Because why? Because you're human. Because we're human and we have emotions. We have emotions, and it is a gift and a curse. Having emotions means that we get to feel joy and happiness and ecstasy. And we also feel sadness and pain and grief and all these feelings. And what happens is, as an adult, we can tell the difference, right? So we know what feels good and what feels bad, and we can tell why. But when we're kids, we don't know why. We know what feels good and we know what feels bad, but we don't know why. And so we assign feelings to the why, and give our own definition before we even have language, which is crazy, right? And then we run that our whole lives. And so what I wake up with running in my head is what I learned from my mom. What I learned from my situation was not a great situation when I was growing up, which is totally fine. We all have that, we all have our own experience growing up. And So I'm running those programs that didn't feel good when I was little. And I acknowledge that. So that's my why, right? So that's why I have triggers, and those are what happen now. So I'll have something like a financial trigger or a relationship trigger, and relationship, I'll talk to you guys about relationship on some other videos, because that's probably like a whole series. Anyway, so we all have triggers in our lives that trigger that old stuff. And you're gonna be triggered. It just is the way that it is. We are emotional. We get triggered. It is what you do with that is important. So say I've been triggered the night before. I wake up in the next morning. I'm feeling, feelings of depression. I'm experiencing those feelings. I recognize that I'm experiencing those feelings. Okay, what do I do? First things first. Recognize that I recognize that I am probably going to run that discursive, terrible thought pattern all day long if I don't actively stop it. If I don't say, okay, nope, I'm thinking that thought. Nope, I'm thinking that thought again, which is exactly what I do. Okay, so when I wake up that way, recognize, and then I think, okay, I really need to do my morning routine. And I've had to pick up like a morning ritual. And I never used to drink coffee, but I do now, or tea, and I don't drink too much of it. I only have 1 cup a day because of the fatigue, because I really don't want to tax my adrenals. So I have my coffee. If I'm really feeling depressed or I'm really experiencing those feelings, I will take a shower. Because that will wash away energetically all of that stuff that sat on me at night. I'll take a shower and I'll just get into my day, and I'll find things that I can do that keep my mind moving forward. So that's the key right there. When you're sitting there and your thought process is going and going and going and going and going, the key is to get your mind moving forward. Okay, so any of you who have watched Cesar Millan in Dog Whisperer will know that that's what he says about dogs that he's training, is to get their mind moving forward, and you can get them past anything. Well, we're not that different. If you can get your mind moving forward and out of that place, you can absolutely overcome that feeling for the day. And I'm just working on days. You can do it for an hour. Every day is a different day. Every day is going to be different, but the best thing you could do is get your mind moving forward, and your body too. I mean, you can go walking. There's plenty of places to hike. Even going outside and just hugging a tree, feeling the breeze on your face. Being outside is really helpful when you're feeling dark and gray. I used to stay in bed, and that just would suck the life out of me and really make things worse. And that also, for the fatigue, it makes things worse. So I get up and I push forward, which is what you got to do. You just got to do it, and you got to get your mind out of that mindset of this sucks. Oh God, this sucks. This is so terrible. It's going to be this way forever. Why does it feel this way? Well, that's just going to be there. Just keep telling your mind to shut the fuck up. That's not the truth. That is some shit you learned a long time ago, and that's it. Just keep pushing forward. So yeah, anyway, I'm out here pushing forward. I didn't wake up that depressed today. I didn't wake up that tired, which is great. And yeah, I'm just keeping going. I have the everyday life stress. We all do. We live in a society where we've been set up for that. And Wolfie, here she comes. She's like a little mighty dog. We've been set up for that. We've been set up to fail in a lot of ways. And we have not been taught how to deal with the emotional trauma that comes from a society that's been set up for that. So these are just a couple tips that I do. Just really notice what your mind is telling you and tell it that it's a lie. And then think the opposite of that. You're thinking, oh, this fucking sucks. Say, oh, this is such a good lesson for how to feel joy when it comes. You know, there's got to be a reason for this. So, you know, I'm going to take this as a gift somehow. Somehow there's a lesson. Somehow there's a gift in this. Somehow there's something for me here. And, you know, turn it to a positive, because it's the only way it works. You know, otherwise you're just going to find that life can be pretty negative, because that's what we've been taught. You know, and on the other side of it, you can find joy in every moment. Like, this moment is pretty joyful. It's pretty gorgeous out today. It's not quite too hot yet. And, yeah, and I got my little buddy. She's awesome. And go out, get out, and message me. I'm here. I'll message you right back. If you need my support, I'm totally here for you. All right, that's all I wanted to say. I hope you guys have an awesome day. And I'm so happy that you are on this journey with me in this life. And I'm so grateful that you're paying attention and that you're watching me and that you're listening to the words that I have and the wisdom that I've learned over the years. All right, love you all. Have a beautiful day. And look at that view. Wow.